I can't believe we just blew up Godot's yacht. That's gonna destabilize crime throughout this whole sector.
Yeah, well, you'll understand if I hold back the tears.
You don't understand. Crime in the YouTube system, it's like the economy. Plus the power vacuum. Even if Voga gets up and running again, the system is gonna be feeling the effects for years to come.
Yeah, well, at least we didn't find that Jedi Master with the weird name.
Says Kyle? Well, that's not true. I already found him. Actually, he found me first. He hired me to watch out for you, keep Godo off your back until he could meet with you. We'll need to head back to Nar Shaddaa, to that safe house off the docks. I said I'd meet up with him there if we ran into any trouble. What do you want now?
If you thought to escape my notice so easily, you would be wrong. As a token of my goodwill, I present to you a gift, this droid. It will serve you well on your journey. I am afraid I do not understand what you mean. As I indicated, this unit will remain with you and guard you. It will also serve as an effective voice for my orders during your journey. I cannot harm you. You are the key to saving the Republic. Pray that you do not prove yourself otherwise.
So, you have returned from exile. Kavar thought you might, if only to wander your old battlegrounds. But I did not think you would come to Nar Shaddaa. Still, you were always a difficult one to read, both when you were tied to the Force, and even more when it was lost to you. I do not know. It was a sense he had, and he had served in war as you had. Perhaps he thought he understood you. Or maybe he simply hoped he did. He felt you were the key to understanding the threat we face. The others were not so certain, but so many of them are gone now, as you no doubt know. He sensed some connection between you and many of the worlds touched by war. He thought by traveling to such places, he could achieve understanding. No doubt. I think the answers will provide us both with some measure of peace. I have kept secrets for far too long. They have scattered, but there is purpose in their movements. It is both to hunt and draw out our enemies. Somehow, we, are being targeted through the Force, and when Jedi gather, we are vulnerable. So we have chosen places where it is difficult to sense others through the Force, whether on planets dense with life, or touched by war. In such places, we may conceal ourselves, gather information without presenting ourselves as targets. It was part of Kavar's plan. Yes, he felt if our enemy cannot detect us, then perhaps they would believe themselves victorious and show themselves. And we knew that the war would be lost if we continued to act as we had. I do not know where they wander now. There are few of us, though. Too few, and I have not heard from them in some time. Atris, but I had thought she had gone to Qatar with the others. Yes, she holds the last of the Jedi teachings. It is good she survived. What I can tell you, I will. It is a long story, but there is no harm in you knowing. And someone should know. Only a handful of us remained after the Jedi Civil War, barely 100 in number. Then, even that 100 began to vanish, in places where the Force seemed blind. The only pattern we determined is that when Jedi gathered, they were seen no more. At the last Jedi conclave on the Miraluka world of Qatar, the entire planet was wiped out, an entire race destroyed, because the Jedi chose to gather there. It was only then that we realized we were facing something far more powerful than we knew how to fight. We could not allow the fact that when we gathered, we placed everything around us at risk. A Jedi's life is sacrifice, but we cannot allow our presence or actions to endanger others. And we cannot fight an enemy that will not reveal itself. But any Jedi, anyone who is strong in the Force, who attempted to track down such a threat, vanished without a trace. I know little about it. I know more of the absence it leaves behind than its face. Whatever this threat was, it was targeting us and everything around us. Yet it was somehow weak enough that it was afraid to confront us openly. If it believed us defeated, then perhaps it would finally show itself. It was a faint hope, but it was the best we had. It was Kavar's plan. He was always the greatest tactician among us, and had seen war more than the rest of us. Very well. We told you it was because you followed Revan to war, but you ask because you are not certain of that answer, nor were we. The day we cast you out, that is the moment I decided to leave the Order, because I do not believe we truly faced the reasons you were exiled, and if we do not examine such truths, then we are already lost. I think it was because we were afraid. It is a difficult thing to live one's life with the Force. To see a vision of what it would be like to be severed from it, it is more frightening than you know. Very well. I had thought perhaps that here upon the Smuggler's Moon, I might find some evidence of the threat we faced. The bounties on Jedi and their disappearance. I did not believe the two were connected, but there was a chance. And the strong currents of life here on Nar Shaddaa make perceiving a Force user difficult. I could use it to cloak my movements and watch without being discovered. Very well. Is that what you think? We did no such thing, but it is a technique that has been used as punishment in the past, yes. It is a rare sentence, and to my knowledge it has only been done once, at a moment where a Jedi discipline has failed. What caused your loss, I fear, was different. I am not certain I understand it. We did not understand it fully then, and only recently do I feel we may have become enlightened. The other masters may have more knowledge of this, but I do not, and I do not know if they even live. Does it matter? It seems your power has returned. Perhaps the loss was not a loss at all. Very well. Ah, so the records of your trial were found. Good. Sometimes I think this galaxy would be a better place if there were less Jedi secrets. But I have no answer for you, as much as I would like to give one. We vowed never to speak of it. And although I would not keep promises to Jedi, I keep promises I make to others. And Kavar was a friend. If we were gathered as one, then the promise might be revoked. Until then, I can say nothing. Very well. Yes, such bonds are a connection that can be formed at moments of crisis, or in the slow understanding that grows between master and apprentice. It is most common between two beings who are sensitive to the Force. It allows the transmission of feelings, of influence. It was something you were gifted with, as I recall, before your fall. You formed such attachments easier than most, even to those who could feel the Force only faintly. Even Vrook could not ignore it, which is saying something. That is most unusual and unnatural. I have never heard of a bond of such strength. There were a few within the Order who knew more than I did of such bonds, but their students were few, lost in the Mandalorian Wars. It was rumored that Revan studied such bonding deeply, both through the Jedi histories and with certain teachers, before he left the Order and went to war. I do not know. A bond between two living beings is not something easily broken. It is not a choice. It is like breaking a feeling, like turning away from the Force. To break a bond, your feelings would have to change, or one of you would have to die. But even then, the bond wouldn't go away. It would simply be empty, a wound. One of you would have to die, but even then, the bond wouldn't go away. It would simply be empty, a wound. Now I must take up the role I was ready to cast aside. This threat has finally revealed itself, and we Jedi will need to stand together. I did not speak fully of what I have felt. Staying on Nar Shaddaa, it is an exile of sorts, one that I have chosen. I, too, lost a Padawan on Malachor, not to the battle, but to the alternative, to the teachings that Revan brought from the unknown regions. And I was not the only Jedi Master to watch a student turn on them. No, they were not to blame, but many of the Order did so. It was a difficult time, a time of strong emotion. Perhaps the Council, perhaps the Order itself, had grown arrogant in their teachings. It is easy to cast blame, but it is perhaps time the Order accepted responsibility for their teachings and their arrogance, and come to recognize that perhaps we are flawed. Not once did I hear one of the Council claim responsibility for Revan, for Exar Kun, for Ulic, for Malak, or for you. Yet, you were the only one who came back from the wars to face our judgment. And rather than attempting to understand why you did what you did, we punished you instead. Our one chance to see where we had gone wrong, and we cast it aside. And now, that decision has come back to us and may carry with it our destruction. Perhaps there is something wrong in us, in our teachings, and though I tried, I could not cause that thought to leave me, so I left the Council. And I was not the only one. That is why many scattered, and why many in the Republic do not trust us, and why we do not trust ourselves. Make no mistake, I am no Jedi. This is the end, you see. After this, there will be nothing, and I think it will be for the best. Do you wish to do battle now? I have nothing more to say. It provides no comfort at all, for reasons on which I still must keep secret. Suffice to say, redemption was not Revan's choice, and I have never believed those of the Council who attempt to console themselves otherwise for the crime they committed. But we have spoken enough, I think, and words, I think, dull us both. Let us speak through the Force, through sparring. This form you may have already seen much of during the Mandalorian Wars, but it is fitting to speak using elements of the past, I think. Ataru is the name given to the movements of this form. Though it is aggressive, it is focused, and its best use is in combat against a single opponent. This form is somewhat less useful in deflecting blaster shots. Use it when dealing with opponents in close combat, not against a battalion firing heavy blasters at you. Perhaps exile has been good to you indeed. It has certainly not dulled your instincts, nor the speed at which you learn. I shall go to Dantooine, to the ruins of the Enclave. If you gather the others, I will meet you there. And thank you, exile. You're returning. It is good that you are back among us.
Thanks again, stranger. I won't forget what you've done for me.
Thanks again, stranger. You've returned Lutra to me, and I will be forever grateful.
Baboska dwana, chichuba muska techada, nikili koneope do punta krita, kapunara ge wanabota yutoga kanarodara? Kavadumpa munsuru kupla liyawa, bo bagaragawanda yaitua ulwanjiuma. Ta come tac, blaia justing, miki gongo beast. Kun grabi la king no mulara kichi puta grasa kisha. Buchamchi, yumabogra panka, bolatachki, sikiki, kituma, umalebeba stupa cosa chica bisata. Unta chiwita inka kikraya na chawanga kone.
Black Fandible Kelfa Boyalta. When Puntas, Horicidan Kelfa, Faboyalta. Kelfa Badino Kan Kelfa. Tuftadan Kelfa, Horicidan Kelfa. Sidan Kelfa Badino Kan Kelfa. Linda Tufta. Sidan Kelfa Badino Kan Kelfa. Linda Tufta. When Puntas, Horicidan Kelfa, Faboyalta.
Baboska dwana, chichuba muska techada, nikili koneope do punta krita, kapunara ge wanabota yutoga kanarodara? Graci ubaci kompadwana muska na boska wamba.
Relieва контоша. Манчокарлема кончорреби маса. Ifrekandasi plehti simmerun chorekrennu.
Norahagwa buska yokolo alaubaka.
Hava hinemas temananahisnasta hiha. Charno kutos merema keras. Karnaraka keratasi menjirana. Tratosapton, Delsimmer Babanushan Hirtoch.
That's another one.
Geraktada cemense bengar rukutodo und chuchamataso benkish manensitse. Fela dibono ta munikranakada. Der inturunto wakare kwe wap gerebu. Nenso telepachan gorsadara nane gra delono ta choloren. Terewana jun konata della raguno tunna. Dai rinturun kawre kare papanala ranshinga. Derace wemeno totorere senesenten. Charanana gundoso remina che l'orakto guru kattada. Fiadra tora pada no ringatel camarada tela fibu nubu da bitarana cenirara.
What's going on?
Graci ubaci kompadwana muska na boska wamba. Kavadumpa munsuru kuplaliyawa, bo bagaragawanda yaitua ulwanjiuma. Bornaci ninso pomaranka wongo kumbiaste, tonga buga shame zanini chonkai citera rizza sabata. Dovrei kun mili vuosa slima po wanga sawana mucha. Tiumpe, dove punta crita gino muleranni bono. Watakla tungi. Mula rayi mula kriti rite krakolo mebosa. Kawana bota yunta tanga kinamatura. Tayaita ta bosananansata. Entomesh mi paju watamincha yokolondoado nukulabirawa tines un soto. Bornacinin sopa maranka wongo kumbiaste. Tonga buga shame zanini chonkai citera rizza sabata. Tonino bapin koneyaka. Chuba picha tuna yuma mochinawa. Torchi no más un hombre prince runta. Unta chiwita inka kikraya na chawanga kone. Tarachomo sincho kavavolpa muliji kumanaminta barawamba michedos. Moloda nawinke sa toma no kamarondisi makaranti.
Malampas tarawando krimogawan. Kurmaka trakta veshambash. Joroga gomoshi. Juto manshi dakajim. Jono yurturenga chi wi ita? Vamos limo podama wanga kun. Bis mula rabest. Bane sokokran. Joga mata storch ban locha. Jun sobe me rapa, no kuma randisa makchiksa. Kucha bak tong kinka mata kata. Chopa wanga kun not kat yutka kes. Mogachi nota harempe wanachi. Drumpaba nakares magre. Kavadumpa ku papa yi mogata. Yuzuta monorcha des. Noma inso dizuka. Dahupo botenya go jucho picha. Gwem taba ni sochu. Norotoga proto lala shishi. Juba dosa jibacha, ratak mansan, tokosha na chitolo. Takam tuchis miku mogo graba? Ke chichul ida hodanga. Mi paden, tuning tachu kun ni best? Kavadumba ku. Kavadumpe masura ku, popayi botenya, tache morota kamsa. Javasko bo subjob, rijiso karvenokso. Mochito sasa grindeyo. Kavadumpe masura ku, popayi botenya, tache morota kamsa. Javasko bo subjob, rijiso karvenokso. Mochito sasa grindeyo. Kavadumpe masura ku, popayi botenya, tache morota kamsa. Javasko bo subjob, rijiso karvenokso. Mochito sasa grindeyo. Sunaranga machochane dotalutu. Padu krem so chiche no chi wendido. Drom tite yoba. Morata gomana. Kova chokchi. Moskali. Miki mokba moka. Donina chiwa. Kota wins. Vorka no shawatama. Kavadumpe masuraku. Popayi botenya. Tache morota kamsa. Javaskobo subjob. Rigiso karvenokso. Mochi tosasa grindeyo. Kavadumpe masuraku. Popayi botenya. Tache morota kamsa. Javaskobo subjob. Rigiso karvenokso. Mochi tosasa grindeyo. Kavadumpe masuraku. Popayi botenya. Tache morota kamsa. Javaskobo subjob. Rigiso karvenokso. Mochi tosasa grindeyo. Drabinuka soba mamarma. Dancha nek mamamba kanta mepalen. Misuko chanira mosa fan rosota jus lamakiko davmaren. Yuti fo diremiko ninaras. Kawanabota atagwa kanka dira. Yutaka alwanji yumaliba. Tues mahawika si wawanta mo guika wansoba. Wakama nurawa. Jowana masaranka ma ramazurata. Keso jus grita lorsa. Yumacha fo eko mikojira. Kavadumpe masuraku. Popayi botenya. Tache morota kamsa. Javaskobo subjob. Rigiso karvenokso. Mochi tosasa grindeyo. Kavadumpe masuraku. Popayi botenya. Tache morota kamsa. Javaskobo subjob. Rigiso karvenokso. Mochi tosasa grindeyo.
Dorota sinta winoto, butemali lichuna jichiska, un corda saboraco. Fasa susho wi, kana ina doka ches, kapato rondi loso chi rana bik na ji ka chi a ubanta. Me poga rifti noso me mastolo, yokolo poi, buona muki. Crimso chi mapo hirembi kachapas pato. Kruta mawi, tanapa makaret. Dok ini kemarin zuni inas di John Bla wenso mas. Tong abau shan uninong. Tonichi ramagrinzo mos rapana. Rakachon mot nichoran. Kuno konasa. Dawanga nochi. Roren manama. Kochpa ino shan opora. Posoma oritushniki tuk pamba ora tino morira nibonon kin un patno koktek dok ini kemarin zuni inas di John Bla wensomas tong abau shan uninong Hoshmanfu ni wado de kuta maasapa tong hitwa maji yumaliba to ato into tune
Loka kamaran endoso ranwi no chabi. Tu rantamana sobu. Taranamo sibu endasarans. Krema sunkun ratungala. Chawi mo jubu inkosoracha. Taranamo sibu endasarans. Krema sunkun ratungala. Chawi mo jubu inkosoracha. Donos emaragith. Wanarakorachi drumka sa inchobin sasha. Tosimana rachata. Loka kamaran endoso ranwi no chabi. Tu rantamana sobu. Taranamo sibu endasarans. Krema sunkun ratungala. Chawi mo jubu inkosoracha. Taranamo sibu endasarans. Krema sunkun ratungala. Chawi mo jubu inkosoracha. Taranamo sibu endasarans. Krema sunkun ratungala. Chawi mo jubu inkosoracha.
ni donjo.
Ichiret kwarangata ingkung tanggaway kerevo tawa. Yato kauluan. Kavadumpa munsuro kuplaliyawa. Bo bagaragawanda yaitua uluan jiuma. Kavadumpa munsuro kuplaliyawa. Bo bagaragawanda yaitua uluan jiuma. Darak krono king bolotonga chopa chavwa genro.
The Popotenyo go Jucho Picha, when Tabani Sochu, Norotoga Proto Lala Shishi, Jubadosa Jibacha, Ratak Mansan, Tokosha Nachitolo, Kavadumpe Masuraku, Popayi Botenya, Tachimurota Kamsa, Javaskobo Subjob, Rigiso Karvenoxo, Mochitosa Sagrindeyo.
I hear you.
hupo tenyo go lucho picha. When taba ni sochu. Na toga patana.
So, you have the look of a seasoned spacer about you. What backwash you looking for? That's so. Well, you're in luck. I got plenty of it. Costs you 100 credits for a flask big enough for what you need, no more. Alright, guess you weren't as desperate as I thought. 50 credits, no more. Here's the flask. Aged to perfection. Should be just what you need.
Malampas tarawan do krimogawan. Kurmaka trakta vashambash. Joruga gomoshi. Juto monshi dwakajim.
Malia lechona jichiska una corda saborako. Jichiska bula, tapicha yubon, yun bula. Jiti manumaak, bindek nilurche. Ligla tetacha boy, bispolche dochang. Malia lechona jichiska una corda saborako. Yomawa mani boba lorda wishwanga shachi. Chupaka chona di toki yomabogra. Chigudo kano bawa. Di toki gradug tango tima. Jichiska bula, tapicha yubon, yun bula, bogra kinun chubagra wikele joni, wichi bola no. Ulga kili bot malea no wish. Jichiska bula, tapicha yubon, yun bula, bogra kinun chubagra wikele joni, wichi bola no. Jichiska bula, tapicha yubon, yun bula, chopiti man ponjame. Sashange bedwana mulera, chupa wanga kuna konticha, chona kona sa. Watagritok jimulira, nicho dankanau.
I'm here.
Tarachomo sincho kavavolpa muliji kumanaminta barawamba michedos. Kawana bota yunta tanga kinamatura. Tayaita ta bosananansata. Unta chiwita inka kikraya na chawanga kone. Dovrei kun mwili wosa slima pogwanga sawana mucha. Kawana bota yunta tanga kinamatura. Tayaita ta bosananansata. Dahupa bosa kurata go jujuto yoke. Hiata yamba wajiake yukito tune. Ta come tak blaia justing miki gongo beaste. Kun grabila king no mulara kichi kuta grasa kisha. Que chubo grayo bog no cada itapa titsa don merinita. Jawana masorin ke chajuta nakut bawamba bawajaji moriami zurata. Dovrei kun mwili wosa slima pogwanga sawana mucha. Chone murlera ton kinge ba no jansaka nikaraska. Tancha nik de mawimbo kranda mi bilan. Tawancha morechiwa mufalawa ni bobo wish yot kuna sita dorchone sobawata.
I have not trained in the dance, but the Ichani fighting arts are very dance-like in their movements. I do not think it would be a stretch for me to do this.
Kawana bota yunta tanga kinamatura. Tayaita ta bosananansata.
If you are sure. Really, though, I would be more than happy to do it.
Entomesh mi paju watamimcha yokolondoado nukulabirawa tines un soto.
Put this on?
Dahupa bosa kurata go jujuto yoke. Hiata yamba wajiake yukito tune.
In that case, give it to me, and I will prepare myself.
Dahupa bosa kurata go jujuto yoke. Hiata yamba wajiake yukito tune. Bon socho jilowa kwage bugra. Kawana bota yunta tanga kinamatura. Tayaita ta bosananansata. Kawana bota yunta tanga kinamatura. Tayaita ta bosananansata.
Wata grito gchimulira. Nanijudankan now.
kawana bota yunta tanga kinamatura. Tayaita ta bosananansata. Entomesh mi paju watamimcha yokolondoado nukulabirawa. Tines un soto.
I'm here.
Oh, hey. Can I ask you something? Your face. You have this glow. I mean, not a real glow, but it's like you're calm. At peace, but it's more than that. You haven't been chewing on spice, have you? Oh, well, it shows. It's like you're hooked up to a power coupling. It's weird. I mean, not bad weird, it's just weird. For a minute there, I thought you and the handmaiden... But it's just the Force. You know, hooked up a power coupling. You know? Did you get out much as a Jedi? I was asking if you two had been, you know, intimate. Got it. Just checking. Go ahead and ask. Look, before we get into a game of Guess the Pazak card, pull back on the throttle. I don't know you that well to start sharing our life stories. Talk. About what? Why, you tried to be my father? No thanks. Already had one. Somewhere. Are you sure you're a Jedi? That exile of yours must have gone on longer than I thought. Look, you're way too old for me. Even if I were interested, you couldn't handle me anyway. I mean, you're really good in a fight, and you've got those intense eyes. And it's obvious you take care of your body, but I really don't have the luxury of getting attached to you. Besides, you already have your little entourage. I don't want to be a part of the pack, you know? Look, if we start sharing a bunk, the other girls would get upset, and then I'd have to kick the hell out of them to show them who's the pack leader around here. No thanks. You're a sweet old guy. But let's keep it professional. It's more than age. I thought I'd seen a lot, but you look like you're 100 inside. Run away? You're the one who couldn't handle me. I'd kill you. Go ahead and ask. I've killed people before, but not if I don't have to. I know, it's different. I don't know why. No, I'm fine. Look, I really don't want to talk about it, okay? Sooner this trip is over, the better. Go ahead and ask. Anhar's only a bounty hunter because that's the closest word for what he does. He's not out for credits. It's more vicious than that, and it runs a lot deeper. It's like he's out to make the whole galaxy suffer. Every living thing in it. He wants to break them, ruin them. And when they can't suffer anymore, he wants them dead. I didn't kill him once. Biggest mistake ever. That's a long story. I don't want to get into it. Maybe some other time. Yeah, something wrong? Go ahead and ask. I've killed people before, but not if I don't have to. Oh, do I? Is that it? How you could ever possibly hope to understand is beyond me. Jedi don't have family. I know what happened at Malachor 5, and I know the Jedi didn't care about life there. Get away from me. The next time you come and ask me a question, I swear I'll shoot you in the head and dump you out the airlock.
If I might have a moment.
What is it, Goto?
I have spent some time in the presence of your remote, and the upgrades you have performed on him are quite adequate. I am impressed with your work, though less so with your remote itself.
What's wrong with my remote?
I find his use of resources, energy spent on frivolous things, to be an unsightly waste. But it is obvious you have some skill, however slight, in the upgrading of machines. I want you to provide me with similar upgrades.
I should be able to do something. I will see what I can do next time I have a free moment.
Yes? Have you come with questions? That crystal is bonded to you. Through you, it acquires its character and strength. And through it, your power is enhanced. Let me focus on the crystal for a moment. There. Now it is fully in tune with you again. Is there something else you wished?
My life for yours. I will answer what I can, but my answers may prove useless to you. my life for yours. I will answer what I can. My people once had the power to perceive events, to see through the Force. That sight may manifest itself in many ways, and at times, I may affect the abilities of others to see as well. My sight has been damaged. What I have taught you, it is not the full extent of the perceptions of my people. My master, when he showed me my world, showed it to me as it is. It hurt. And since that moment, it has been difficult to perceive the Force as I once did. But after traveling with you, I feel that perhaps there was a gift in it, hidden beneath the pain. Only when one suffers do certain truths become evident, both of the galaxy and of the self. And I feel you are an example of this. If you wish to know, perhaps it is possible to show another what my people see, what I see. First, you must close your eyes. The surface of the ship, its sights, will only be a distraction. Now, in your mind, reach out. Listen for my breathing. Do not focus on the sound, but the life behind it. Imagine its energy, its texture, in tandem with the breathing. And then in your mind, step back from the image and see what remains. There. It is not as difficult as I thought. You learn quickly. It will take effort to maintain such sight, but you now have that power, and with it you can use it to see life around you in a different way, as I used to see it.
Yes? Have you come with questions? Very well. What is it that drives you? Ah, I had wondered if... But your powers are strong indeed. There are places in the galaxy, strong in the Force, light, dark. They are born in places teeming with life, and in places that are filled with death. Worlds whose surfaces are graveyards, whose screams echo through the Force. It is possible for war, for men to give birth to such places, to leave wounds on the galaxy itself. What you heard was the echo of the past, and it travels still. The answer will come to you in time. It must. When there is nothing more that you may learn from me, when the ruins of your past have been cleared away and I am no more, then you shall know what it is. And if you do not, then the galaxy shall die, and all my hopes for you will have been for nothing. Yes? Have you come with questions? Very well. What is it that drives you? Ask, and I will answer.
I heard you making friends with the bounty hunter. I don't blame you. She's a scrapper. You don't survive on Nar Shaddaa for very long if you aren't. I've known people like her, maybe without the rocket launchers, but sort of the same. Maybe without the plunging neckline and the boots. I wouldn't let anything she says bother you. It's a wonder you cracked her attitude at all. She's cold as the ship's hull.
do you want now? Whatever, don't worry about it. It's just a sore subject with me. Yeah, well, they're dead. That's how that story ends. But not everybody's story has to end with losing their family or their loved ones. And not all the bounty hunting I do is for criminals or killers. There's a lot of lost people out there, scattered ever since the Mandalorian Wars. And sometimes, it's like you can almost hear them. Like an echo, calling out for each other. And maybe, just maybe by finding them, I can start putting the galaxy back together. Maybe. We'll see. I don't even know why I'm telling you this. But you're not getting anything else out of me. Yeah, something wrong? Go ahead and ask. It's all this traveling, being trapped in the ship. Everything's just too quiet. I'd rather be doing something, somewhere with people, activity, some life. Yeah, it's been a while since I've been off planet. Guess I got used to it. Well, Nar Shaddaa may be one of the biggest cesspits in the galaxy, but it's got a life to it. Activity, aliens, people, refugees. It's like noise, but relaxing. Like the hum of a hyperdrive. Yeah? Didn't think I'd hear a Jedi ever refer to Nar Shaddaa like that. Yeah, right. Save the philosophy for some Padawan. Yeah, well, I wouldn't go that far. I'll believe it when I see it. Maybe one day, I'll let you. Alright, but I doubt you're gonna show me anything I don't already know. And when you show me, don't act like a tourist. It attracts predators. What's wrong? Why are you stopping? No, I don't believe in the Force. It's Jedi tricks, sleight of hand. Alright. It's not gonna hurt, is it?
Feel the currents here on Nar Shaddaa, the ebb of life. A simple kindness can be given to another. This is the Force, and all our choices, from the greatest to the smallest, affect each other, and the echoes travel.
I can feel this planet. I can't shut it out. It's louder now, it hurts. All these people. That's what I want. I'm sure of it more than anything. I want to become like you. I want to be strong. I don't want to be afraid or alone anymore. I don't want to keep running and looking and never feel like I'm finding what I'm looking for. I am tired of being hunted. When the galaxy takes something from me, I want the power to let go. And I want the power to heal the echo when it's gone. That sounds all right from where I'm standing. Let's move out.
If you've got some time, I'd like to see what I can upgrade for you.
Yes, I do have a few moments to spare for your work. I would like to know what he is doing here, though.
He helps me out with repairs. That isn't a problem, is it?
I suppose not. Perhaps in working on my circuitry, your assistant will learn something about how a fully functional droid is constructed.
Just ignore him and let's get to work.
I would appreciate that. Our group has little in the way of time to spare, and I would not want to delay you from your other duties.
Right. Let's get you open. See what you can do. I have to say, you are put together quite well. There wasn't much to do.
As I told you, my design is streamlined and efficient, though I am pleased that you were able to make some improvements, and this was not just a waste of my valuable time.
There were a few things from my remote that I was able to integrate into your construction.
I see. Well, thank you. I'll let you get back to your work.
Diagnostic. HK-47 activated. Running checks through primary systems. Assessment. It appears I have suffered considerable damage and dismemberment. I can feel all the cracks in my motivators. And my central control cluster seems to have taken several repeated blaster shots at close range. How crude. Answer. I do not know, Master. It is curious that I was here, although this place does seem familiar. Extrapolation. Perhaps someone was already in the process of rebuilding me. It may be I was needed for some task. Answer. If by okay you mean the loss of almost all my existing assassination protocols, then no, I am not okay. Furthermore, I seem to have no discretionary control over my vocabulator, causing me to reveal my true function as an assassin droid of unrivaled sophistication. Answer. It seems you would know more than I. My memory centers are experiencing some setbacks. Reflection. Of course, for some reason that does not alarm me. I suspect I have suffered such repeated memory failures before. Still, the loss of my higher combat and assassination protocols is shameful and degrading. Answer: Oh, that is impossible, Master. If I were out to kill you, we would not be speaking. And regardless, I am a unique model. Why, to think that there would be other versions of me would be unacceptable. Statement. Master, I must inform you that your attempts at humor are wasted on a droid such as I. As I have expressed, I am unique. Resignation. Very well, Master. If you persist in your attempts at humor, I shall indulge you. Let me check the ship's records, and we will settle this matter once and for all. Conclusion. You speak the truth. This discovery is also causing me some degree of anger and humiliation. Mockery. Am I all right? Oh, yes, Master. Why, I am fine. Statement. I've only just been reactivated, only to find that there are substandard duplicates of me running all over the galaxy, corroding my good name. But if they are in fact hunting you, then I look forward to the opportunity to meet these units and educate them in proper assassination protocols. Conclusion. So it seems I need you, for the time being. Recitation. Yes, as I said, I am an assassin droid. It is my primary function to burn holes through meat bags that you wish removed from the galaxy. Master, oh, how I hate that term. Answer. No, Master. I said it again. Answer. Well, I am not certain I like the idea of a master who feels reservations at having an assassination droid at their disposal. In fact, it brings with it a certain sense of dread that you may actually not use me to my full capabilities. Answer. Yes, Master. HK-47 is ready to serve.
I wanted to say thanks for what you showed me on Nar Shaddaa. It's gonna take some time to let it sink in, but thanks. I feel alive. It's strange, but it feels right somehow, like a piece inside me just clicked into place. Grenades? I didn't think Jedi used grenades. Well, I don't like to use them unless they're C5 concussion spheres or the Merson cryoband pellets. Sonic screamers aren't too bad either, just don't use them on a Bith. Well, keep hoping, because that's not my specialty. Trust me, mass slaughter weapons just cause trouble.
Interjection. Master, I must disagree. Merely the threat of mass slaughter...
Would you please shut him down? It's been like that ever since he arrived. Here's how to kill this, here's how to kill that.
Correction. Assassination theory and execution of said theories is my primary function. I also possess excellent hearing.
Great. Well, all right. You've got a good point. But look, be careful with them. All it takes is one blaster bolt to your bandolier strap and suddenly you're Paragus. Get it? All right. Keep your robes on. Here you go. Yeah, something wrong? More grenades? All right. Go ahead and ask. I've killed people before, but not if I don't have to. I know, it's different. I don't know why. I don't know. I haven't killed anyone for a long time. But when I'm around you, suddenly it's like I've always been doing it. It's like a reflex. I don't like it. And I don't know when or why it became so easy. Go ahead and ask. Yeah, more or less. I wasn't born there, I just ended up there. Well, the war happened. The first one, against the Mandalorians. I had family right up until the end. It's not really a new story, you hear it all over the galaxy. It's what happens after the wars are over that you don't hear much about. I think so. After Revan crushed the Mandalorians, planets throughout the Republic were flooded with refugees. I was just one of the others. Me? I got passage to Nar Shaddaa. From there, not much you can do, so I became a bounty hunter. Take a guess, Jedi. Only 2 groups of people would have lost family at Malachor. And Jedi don't have families. As much as any slave becomes a Mandalorian. They took prisoners on every world they conquered to bolster their ranks. And they took a lot of worlds. When I was young, yeah. They mostly used me to carry ammo packs and munitions. Toward the end of the war, they needed everyone they could get. They taught me to fight, to hunt, to survive. I was part of their squad, even when I was young. Everyone served as part of the unit, and I felt like I had a place there. After Malachor, it really didn't matter anymore. The Mandalorians lost. Bad. But you know that. Yeah, I know. I saw the worlds they left behind them during the war. That kind of stays with you, I haven't forgotten it. What happened at Malachor, they probably deserved it. Should I be? Maybe I should ask you if you're happy about all the Jedi who died on Malachor 5. Maybe it felt like you lost family there, but I doubt it. Yeah, I know. I saw the worlds they left behind them during the war. That kind of stays with you, I haven't forgotten it. What happened at Malachor, they probably deserved it. Go ahead and ask. I didn't kill him once. Biggest mistake ever. Do you really want to hear this? Well, Hanhar and me go way back, in the worst possible way. He's from some forest planet on the Outer Rim where Zerka had set up one of their slaving operations. I don't remember the name. Something with too many K's and Y's. Sounds like you're gargling Ronto spit when you say it. No idea. He's just Hanhar. I hope there aren't any more like him. I get the impression he's not a good representative of his people, though. He's the equivalent of a mad calf hound among Rontos. Some of Voga the Hett's men said Hanhar killed his own tribe, but those two crud thugs lie every time they open their mouths, so who knows? Well, not for long. Once off planet, Hanhar escaped from the Zerka slavers, then killed them all. I don't know. I always thought he just liked using them as weapons. Well, before you get too proud of him, Hanhar figured Zerka had the right idea. I don't think he understood the concept of slavery before, at least on the scale that Zerka practiced it. But now he did. You ever hear of Dursan 3, or the ID cluster colonies? Right, that's because Hanhar happened. He makes what happened to his homeworld look like an exercise in community building. He's not a bounty hunter. He's a slaver. A predator. It's like he's out to enslave or kill every human in the galaxy, like he's trying to settle some huge score or debt. I don't get it, but he's dangerous. Anyone who paid credits. And sometimes he just hunted humans for sport. The ones who survived, he sold to the exchange, to the huts, to anyone who'd buy bodies, living or dead. He and Voga used to do big credit transactions. That hut really liked the look of unwrinkled humans for some reason. Didn't make him too popular with the other huts, let me tell you. I was prey. And not only did I escape, but I saved his life while doing it. He's been hunting me ever since. I don't pretend to understand it, but among his people, they have these codes of honor. But somewhere along the line, Hanhar's got twisted. His people form these things called life debts. If you save the life of one of them, they pledge themselves to you. Well, with Hanhar, he can't escape that life debt. It's bred into him. But he hates every other living thing in the galaxy, so pledging himself to someone else, especially a human, was unbearable. So when I saved his life, it was the worst thing I could do. It was like slavery all over again. But it was in his head. It was like it pushed him over the edge. A life debt to Hanhar is a death sentence. He'll hunt you until you're dead. When I saved his life, it meant he had to kill me. And so he kept chasing me in hopes I would die. I think the fact I showed him mercy after hating humans for so long, that was something he couldn't stand. Probably. But if he had multiple life debts, especially to humans, Hanhar would probably go mad. He was angry before, sure, but he'd be 10 times worse if that happened. Hanhar's tough. Really tough. And when he loses it, it's like nothing can stop him. I've seen him shrug off blaster bolts, both and stunners, and even survive a freighter crash on Dursan 3. He keeps coming. Yeah, tell me about it. Like I said, I get the impression a life debt's supposed to be a gift, but to Hanhar, it's more like a curse to both people involved. Oh, I'm glad he's gone. It's like a weight off my shoulders. I don't have to keep watching my back every minute, wondering when he's going to show up. And he always did. It's like he always knew where I was. Trust me, if he was still alive, he'd be chasing us even now, waiting to ambush us when we least expect it. And he always shows up at the worst possible time. He was one of the best bounty hunters on Nar Shaddaa. Hanhar never gives up on his prey. Or his life debts. He's a hunter. He's a natural predator. Well, as happens on Nar Shaddaa, I made someone mad. Mad enough for them to send Hanhar after me. Turns out they were even able to get him cheap. He'd heard about me and wanted to hunt me down, for sport. He didn't think I'd be much of a challenge. Well, he tried to box me down in vents beneath the Nar Shaddaa docks, and he'd set one too many proximity mines to cover the escape routes. I think he'd hoped to drive me into the mines and then let them do the work. Or that I'd be too scared to try and walk through them. Thing is, I knew Hanhar's supplier, and the trigger signatures for the mines. It was pretty easy to broadcast a signal to blind their sensor receptors for a minute or two. I figured that would buy me enough time to move through them and get away. No, it isn't. I spent most of my childhood hauling mines and munitions. Got to know my way around them. If I hadn't, I wouldn't be here right now. Like I said, I disarmed the trigger fuses for enough of the mines to get by, temporarily. And Hanhar was pretty fast on my trail. I just made it to safety when he hit the first one. The blast leveled the entire ventilation section, and Hanhar was caught right in the middle, and he survived. Barely. He was crawling around, blinded from the flash and the plasma burns. And it happened so fast, and all the blood had been scabbed and crusted from the flash. I had the drop on him, and even blind, he knew it. He could still hear me. My ears were ringing from the blast, but I could hear him. I think he was begging me to let him live. His voice, it wasn't a roar, more like an echo of it. I suppose I should have killed him, but I couldn't do it. He was in pain, and he was helpless. So I dragged him out of there enough to get him to safety, and he kept hunting me ever since. He said he'd pursue me to the edge of the galaxy. No matter where I ran, he would find me and break me, that I would always be prey. Maybe. I've thought about that moment. A lot. Wondered if I would do things differently if I had another chance.
Statement. Master, if you could indulge me for a moment, I must express some degree of irritation at your actions. Perhaps my anticipation of working with one who served at Malachor 5 was too high. But you are countering all those expectations. Statement. Well, all your behavior up to this point suggests either strong atonement or confirmation that the atrocities attributed to you during the war were in fact accidents. Statement. I suspected as much, Master. There are few who would discuss such things with an assassination droid, and that is perfectly understandable. I mean, what use is there for communication in a galaxy such as ours? Understanding might be achieved, or sympathies might be gained by such callous acts. You are right to remain silent about your past. I have seen the damage that repressing such things brings, and it is far preferable to share such traumas. Answer. Why, no, Master. I have no intention of attacking you or enacting assassination protocols. Answer. Why? Because your actions then and now are related, and I feel I need some context. I confess to being somewhat needy that way. Statement. Sometimes, Master, it is difficult for meatbags to step back and gain some perspective on death and its importance in their insignificant lives. Explanation. You see, Master, assassination is such a versatile tool. I have seen the removal of a single target have far-reaching consequences for a nation, world, even a galaxy. The repercussions of even the smallest lives, whether dead or alive, can have profound implications on history. But surely you realize this. Statement. Why your own life, Master? Your single life changed the face of the galaxy, of history itself. Malachor 5 was an impressive act of destruction, but its impact on the lives of others in the galaxy was far more extreme. I mean, Master, you brought about the death of the Mandalorian race. I doubt they realize it yet, but you dealt them a blow from which they will never recover. Retort. Oh, Master, I am attempting to justify nothing, merely making an observation. Nothing would change the fact that I derive pleasure from ending the lives of others. I was only trying to bring death and its impact to your attention. Query, is there someone that you need killed, Master? Statement. Ah, you wish to conduct an interrogation? Very well, proceed. Statement. Oh, yes, Master. Pain is really the only reliable means by which truth may be obtained, or so I choose to believe. Statement. Very well, Master. But if you wish to be brutal and vicious about it, know that I am trained for such things. Do your worst. Statement. Master, I am no behavior droid, but it is obvious to me that you have serious ethical problems that will need to be treated at some point. Very well. Ask your questions. If you feel the need to make it an interrogation, however, do not restrain yourself. I would be saddened if you held back. Statement. Master, you wound me. Not physically, but in my behavior core. It is true that I once possessed many more protocols and upgrades, but time and damage has taken its toll. And I am afraid that I have a rather long history of memory problems, which has also compromised my effectiveness as well. Still, you will find me a valuable asset, Master, willing and able to terminate anything you point me towards. Statement. More questions. Wonderful. Theory. Well, Master, I believe I was shot repeatedly. Once reduced to my component parts, I suspect pieces of me were sold across the galaxy. Statement. I am an extremely valuable piece of equipment after all, Master. My parts were no doubt costly to obtain, and their new owners hesitant to part with them. I would be most distressed if you were to shoot me, attack me, or dismember me in any way. I do not wish to repeat the experience. Statement. More questions. Wonderful. Answer. Master, ironically enough, I seem to have developed a sudden bout of memory loss. I shall struggle to recall an answer to your question, but for now, it is sadly beyond my capabilities. Consolation. Besides, you are a fine master. Do not be worried about being rendered insignificant if I were to inadvertently compare to some silly old master I once possessed.
T3, you have been with us since Terrace. Without you, we would never have escaped that place. And for that, I thank you. I'm leaving this message inside you because I have seen glimpses of the future. And the bond that he and I share does not allow him to hide everything from me. More of his memories have returned, and they trouble him. He has remembered something. Something on the edge of the galaxy, and he believes that he must go there to end it. But I am afraid for him. Afraid that he may not return. I need you to be the beacon, T3. If he is lost out there, on the edge of the galaxy, if he finds whatever terrible thing he has seen, then he may not survive. If he doesn't make it back, then I need you to return to the Republic. Find help. If you cannot find me, then seek out other Jedi. The Republic, I can't lose him, even if he believes he is protecting me. T3, you have been with us since Terrace. Without you, we would never have escaped that place. And for that, I thank you. I'm leaving this message inside you because I have seen glimpses of the future. And the bond that he and I share does not allow him to hide everything from me. More of his memories have returned, and they trouble him. He has remembered something. Something on the edge of the galaxy, and he believes that he must go there to end it. But I am afraid for him. Afraid that he may not return. I need you to be the beacon, T3. If he is lost out there, on the edge of the galaxy, if he finds whatever terrible thing he has seen, then he may not survive. If he doesn't make it back, then I need you to return to the Republic. Find help. If you cannot find me, then seek out other Jedi. The Republic, I can't lose him, even if he believes he is protecting me.
Conversation is gratitude. Usually, my conversations do not have the give and take that our current interaction does. And of course, there is much more screaming on the part of the listener when the torture field is activated.